hit the button and...
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to Something to Talk About. Thanks for tuning in to episode 11.
So impressive, honestly.
Oh my gosh, you guys have hung around for this long. We love you for that.
We so love you for that.
So this week, every week, we love reading you just good stories coming out of the South, and we have an awesome lineup for this week.
We do. So many great things happening in Southern news this week. We're so glad y'all have joined us.
Yes.
And to kick it off, like any good Thursday at 3 p.m., we are leading with bourbon.
Always a good choice.
Always a good choice. So today's first story for y'all, Pope Francis recently called Pappy Van Winkle very good bourbon. And if you're from the South, you already knew that Pappy Van Winkle was very good bourbon. But as a diehard Pope lover, this story just warmed the cockles of my heart.
And as a diehard bourbon lover, I agree. The Pope has put a stamp of approval, and that is awesome.
Oh, yes. So Father Jim Sitchko of Lexington, Kentucky, recently went to visit the Pope at the Vatican, and he had brought with him a ton of bourbon, and was really hoping that it would make it through customs and make it actually to the Pope's security detail. And he posted it on Twitter, a picture of him giving a bottle of 23-year-old Pappy Van Winkle bourbon to the Pope. And the Pope immediately knew it was happening.
He was like, I get it. I know what's going on.
He's like, I know you're from Kentucky.
Yeah.
I know that bottle is bourbon. And so he handed it to him, and the Pope said, bourbon? And I said, yes. And then he said, very good bourbon. And then Father Jim was saying, as if you bring the Pope any other kind of bourbon.
Yeah.
That's very good bourbon. Which I thought was so good. So Father Jim brought a stash of at least 10 bottles, and he posted a second picture on Twitter, which I think is my favorite part of this whole story. And he wrote, all the Pappies, Four Roses, and Woodford Reserve all made it to Pope Francis and his security detail. Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God.
That was his closing line. Thanks be to God. All the bourbon made it to the Pope.
Oh my gosh. In true Southern form, he did not show up empty-handed.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Always bearing a gift.
I'd be excited someone brought me a bottle of 23-year-old bourbon.
Oh, yeah. And you know that Kentucky, our good friends in Kentucky know bourbon.
I know what they're doing. So.
We know it's very good bourbon. We don't even have to try it. The Pope does too.
Oh my gosh.
Worldwide.
Just another reason why he's my favorite.
I love that story. All right, Jory, what's next?
Oh my gosh. Well, breaking news. This is quite shocking for all you Barbie Doll fans out there. Our good friend Barbie. So actually, she has a last name. We kind of thought it was one of those Madonna situations where she just Cher, just like no last name, just Barbie. And some folks actually thought her last name was Doll, which makes sense.
That
Barbie
makes sense.
Doll.
Barbie blank doll.
Yeah. But the doll's been around since 1959, so she's getting pretty old. And they just revealed this week, or it just came out more clearly this week, that her last name is Rogers.
Which
is not Rogers, Roberts. Similar.
Very
Sorry,
similar.
I don't get that wrong. Roberts. Yeah, they posted a picture on National Sibling Day to honor the Barbie sisters, and said, Happy National Siblings Day from the Roberts sisters.
And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Aren't they just Barbie and Skipper sisters?
Yeah, and Twitter went wild. I mean, lots of people were saying they were uncomfortable with the information. Lots of people said they thought it was Barbie Doll. People just going wild that her last name is, she does indeed have a last name.
And her full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts.
Yes.
Just in case you also did not know the middle name and
that's what
needed
her mom
that
called her when she was
information.
in trouble. Barbara Millicent, what have you done? Anyway, I love that story. That's awesome.
I think that's so great.
With this story in mind, our question of the week for you is, what was your favorite toy growing up that just brings you back to your childhood?
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? What's yours?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about this. Okay, it just came to me. I was a huge fan of Polly Pockets.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was about to say too.
God, really?
Mostly because
so
of the
cute.
jelly shoes.
Oh yeah.
You know the little jelly shoes she had,
I
and
just
they
love
like
their little homes. Like they all had these cool. I would live in a home like that, but life size.
That's a
you
great
just keep
thing.
them right in your pocket. I'm trying to think what else, but that was
I also kind of thrived off of Beyblades, to be honest with you. Did you ever play with Beyblades?
So familiar.
So they're like the little top looking things. They kind of, I don't know, they have like little spiky edges and they have this like really long, thin piece of plastic with like a circle on the end and little teeth, and you put it in and you like rip them and you have like Beyblade arenas, which are super intense, and we never had Beyblade arenas. But we played, I have a little brother and we used to, like, that was our thing. You didn't have an afternoon without a Beyblade interaction.
That's amazing that you thought of that. And I just thought of something else in the Barbie doll kind of like realm. We love the Bratz dolls.
Oh.
And my dad was not a fan.
My
dad's not a fan. He's like, they dress way too revealing and they're not good role models. And there was like a show that came later, but we were obsessed with our Bratz dolls.
They wore so much eye makeup.
They did.
Those weren't allowed in my house.
Yeah. So the Bratz dolls weren't allowed.
Honestly, I had one Barbie growing up, and I think I cut all of her hair off, and I was into Beyblades. Yeah. I didn't need a Barbie, I had Beyblades.
Gave her a pixie cut. Variant in 2018.
There you go. I was ahead of the trend. I just didn't know it.
Oh, God.
What a good story. Yeah. All right, to something that is not unfamiliar to y'all, because we talk about our good friend Chick-fil-A every week.
Can't go a week without Chick-fil-A.
Not sponsored, but let us know, Chick-fil-A, if you're watching. We're open to it. Our story for the week, you'll never guess what the secret ingredient is in this Chick-fil-A chicken salad recipe. And if you've ever been to Chick-fil-A and had their fried chicken sandwich, which I'm honestly really hoping you have, because if you haven't, y'all come on down to Birmingham and we're going to take you out for some chicken sandwiches, because that's a bigger problem.
Way bigger.
But Chick-fil-A, it has been rumored that Chick-fil-A marinates their fried chicken sandwiches in pickle juice, and that's what makes it so tender, so juicy.
So good.
Amazing, right? But this salad that they recently released, they have a really cool blog called The Chicken Wire that has a ton of great recipes and info and behind-the-scenes stuff about Chick-fil-A, which we thrive on because we love Chick-fil-A.
I can say I like reading that.
It's great. It is gold. You should definitely check it out. But the secret ingredient in this recipe they posted is Chick-fil-A lemonade, which if you've ever had Chick-fil-A lemonade,
delicious.
It's incredible. But I would never, ever have thought to marinate chicken in it.
No.
So you marinate the chicken in Chick-fil-A lemonade for like an hour and a couple like other little spices, and you grill it and you slice it up, which sounds amazing. It probably just has this great citrus twist to it.
Yeah. And their chicken salad is amazing, and they have other ingredients like peas and strawberries, carrots, radishes, almonds, and you mix that all together and you get something good.
Very fresh.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound so springy?
Springy, yeah. You can just imagine eating that out of a pool.
Yeah, in like a colorful beach chair, wearing a sun hat. Wear a sun hat so y'all don't get sun damage in the south.
With a glass of that 23-year-old bourbon.
That would be a very intense lunch break. Maybe with a glass of Chick-fil-A lemonade to compliment.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever, or that.
That's all right, Jorie. You do you.
Oh my gosh. Well, on to the next story, which is definitely not as happy of a note, but we're trying to see the positive with this story. I'm sure all you guys know that this week, Miss Barbara Bush passed away, and she was just beloved all through the South, but also
incredible
everywhere.
woman,
awesome lady. Everyone had nothing but good things to say about her. So this article actually highlights some of her best quotes that people just like cherish and held close to their hearts through the years. So we thought we would just like bring a little happiness and kind of honor her by giving you some of her favorite, or some of our favorite quotes from her. So,
and they're great. They're great quotes.
Such good stuff to live
She's
by.
very quotable.
She is. I think she speaks in quotes.
Really?
You know?
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones, she said, never lose sight of the fact that most important the most important yardstick to your success is how you treat other people. I really closed that one out nicely. It took a while when I got there, which is just awesome. I think you kind of saw that in the way she lived, that she really put that first, like how she treated people she came in contact with every day. You know, she was a really important lady, but like I don't think you could ever sense that just from the way she interacted. She acted like everybody else and always, you know,
incredible, so humble.
Yes, that's a great word for it.
One of my favorite ones that Barbara Bush quoted was, at the end of your life, you'll never regret not having passed one more test, not winning one more verdict, and not closing one more deal. You will regret time spent with a husband, a child, a friend, or a parent, which just to your point, really speaks to who she was as a person, and family
Yeah.
was so important to her.
Yeah, she really had her priorities in mind, I think, which is awesome. Yeah.
Which, I mean, this woman married to a president,
Yeah.
also had a president as a son, you would
Mhm.
think had all the reason in the world to be of super high stature,
Yeah.
and she was humble and kind
Yeah.
and empathetic towards people.
Yeah,
I
she
think
was
it's
certainly
beautiful.
juggling a lot of things, and to be able to like know what your center value was through all of that, I think is super cool. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think those are two of the best ones. What do you think?
I totally agree.
Yeah, and going off of that note, kind of a side story. We have kind of a local artist based out of Jackson, Mississippi, who did this amazing sketch, of Barbara being welcomed by her 3-year-old daughter who actually passed away when she was 3 of cancer. And the Bush family's come out and said this sketch has actually been really comforting to their family. It's by artist Marshall Ramsey. And I just think it's such a beautiful, it's so simple, but like such a beautiful picture of her being welcomed home. And
It's gorgeous.
oh my gosh, so sweet. Very, definitely pulls on the heartstrings. So yeah, I think that's awesome. Just that people are really seeing, like I said, like the positive in all of this. So
May we all live our lives like Barbara Bush.
yes, oh my gosh.
All right, on to the next story for y'all. This is kind of fun. As a Titanic
It's very
lover,
impressive, is what it is.
and well, Titanic, I always was fascinated by the scale of the ship, but I will admit, like, I love the movie
Who
Titanic,
doesn't?
even though, you know, some folks laugh at me for that, but it's fine. There was a young autistic boy who started when he was 10 years old building the world's largest Lego replica of the Titanic. It is on display in Tennessee, naturally on display at the Tennessee Museum in Pigeon Forge. But this is incredible, y'all. Like,
26 feet long.
26 feet long, 56,000 Legos, and 700 hours to complete.
This kid was dedicated.
It's beautiful.
I can't even spend like 7 minutes on the project. You know what I mean? Like, that is rough. That is amazing that he did that.
Oh, it is phenomenal. So the Titanic that he built is 5 feet tall. It took 10-year-old Brynjar Karl Bergensen, he's from Iceland, 700 hours to complete, and now he's 15 years old. So this was 5 years ago that he started this project. He is on the autism spectrum, and he is bringing his creation across the Atlantic to be hosted here in Tennessee. It's going to be on display through December 2019, so you all will be able to see it this year and next year. He's also going to visit schools around the area and do interviews and kind of talk about living and thriving with autism, which is amazing.
Yeah, he said that this project has really helped him as a person. The direct quote from him was, he said, "When I started the building process, I had a person helping me in school, and every step that I took. Today, I'm studying without any support. My grades have risen. My classmates consider me as their peer, and I have the opportunity to travel and explore and meet wonderful people." So it's just like a really cool, awesome project, but like he grew so much as a person as well doing it. So it's pretty neat.
I love it. And you can tell, I mean, I would never be able to build something like this. He said his grandfather is an engineer, and that influence really helped him out. But they kind of worked together to make this, and the whole replica, because it's so large, is being shipped in 3 separate pieces, and they're compiling it at the museum for guests to take a look at. So
if you're anywhere around this museum, definitely pop in and check it out and comment. Let us know how it is, I'm sure.
Or plan a trip.
Yeah, or if you have pictures. Yeah, so neat.
Love that story.
Oh my gosh, guys, this last story, I'm just absolutely obsessed with it because I love the prom, but also, so this is a story about an 18-year-old from Texas who actually took his mom to the prom as his date.
I love
Which
this.
is so sweet.
Is there anything more Southern
No.
than loving your mama?
Yeah, take her to the prom with you. Absolutely not. His name is Joe Angel, and his mom's name is Vanessa, and he took her to the prom, where he actually had promised her when he was in middle school that he would take her to the prom because she had him very young and didn't need to finish school and wasn't able to have those experiences. So he was like, you know what, Mom, when it comes around to my senior year, you're going to be my date. And she kept asking him all throughout senior year, like, who are you going to ask to the prom? Like, which girl? Who's the lucky lady?
Oh.
And he said, Mom, it's you, like, from beginning to end. And he really ended up taking her. And she said they just danced the night away and had the best time.
I think this story just is such a great example of Southerners in general.
So
but
cute.
this guy, like, bought his mom a corsage and picked her up.
Took her prom dress shopping.
Beautiful. It's just so, like, gentlemanly and Oh, I love it.
And I bet all the girls are going crazy for him now.
Oh,
They
yeah.
saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Come Monday at school, he had all the options, you know?
She had a really great quote after this story came out. She said, "Sometimes people don't know the sacrifices us mothers make, and this just meant the world to me."
So sweet. Just that he was recognizing what she had done.
Yeah.
Just giving back a little.
I think we can all do in little ways for our
Yeah.
moms, for sure.
Absolutely. So,
Mother's Day
Mother's Day coming up is such a nice
and
one.
year round.
Yeah, all the time. Well, that's it. That's all we have for you this week. Tune in again next week, 3 p.m. Thursdays. We'll be here. Something to talk about. I may sing my jingle for you next week.
It's been a while since you've sung the
It
jingle.
has, so, you know.
And be sure to comment below about your favorite nostalgic toy when you were growing up. We would love to hear it. We'll try to comment back to all of y'all. Like and subscribe our YouTube channel. And again, thank you so much for joining us.
Bye,
It's
guys.
the highlight of our week.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. See ya.